What's up? Plitty Sports Gamer here, and I had to do a double take on this news. I can't believe this trade happened. It's the Carolina Panthers and the Chicago Bears trade. Bears trading number 1 overall pick to the Panthers for Hall. That includes a wide receiver DJ Moore, source says. I did the double take because of what I saw the Panthers giving up. So the article says the Bears are trading number 1 pick in the 2023 draft to the Carolina Panthers in exchange for 4 draft picks and wide receiver DJ Moore. The Bears will receive Carolina's first round selection at number 9, the 61 pick, a second rounder, and a 2024 first round selection and a 2025 second round pick. If it was just the picks, maybe that would be okay, but you throw in DJ Moore also? The Chicago Bears GM just fleeced the Carolina Panthers in my opinion. And the saying goes, if you don't learn from history, you're bound to repeat it. As you know from my videos, I'm a big 49ers fan. And it was 2 years ago when they gave up 3 first round picks to get Trey Lance at number 3. And how did that turn out so far? It didn't turn out well. Yes, the Carolina Panthers give up 2 first round picks and 2 second round picks, which is not as bad as 3 first round picks. But you're taking a huge chance in selecting a quarterback at number 1 where you don't know how he's going to turn out. You don't know if he's going to succeed in the NFL. And 49ers are paying the price right now for their decision on getting Trey Lance at number 3, giving up 3 first round picks. That was craziness then, and I think this is craziness now. The Bears have been in talks with other teams, and it intensified since last week's NFL Scouting Combine, with multiple teams, including Houston Texans, also expressing interest in making a deal with Chicago. Panthers initially reached out to Chicago, in addition to several other teams at the top of the draft during the Combine to inquire about the possibility of moving up. Talks with the Bears picked up a couple days ago and came to a head Friday because Panthers officials saw value in getting a deal done before free agency starts Monday. I gotta hand it to Ryan Poles. I guess he was sort of under fire, and he found basically a sucker in the Carolina Panthers for them to give up that many picks and a wide receiver to get the number 1 pick, where the Bears have Justin Fields, who is not that great of a passer, but he's an awesome runner, and he's good enough to lead this team. He just needs weapons around them. They have a great running game, but the wide receivers weren't that great. They had Mooney, and they traded for Claypool, which hasn't turned out great. But now they get DJ Moore, who was Carolina's top wide receiver these past few years, 3 1,000-yard seasons, and they'll give him a great number 1 wide receiver target. And now they can concentrate on other areas they need, like offensive line help or trying to get their defense to be better. And they could be a pretty good team. Maybe 500 next year. Who knows? Maybe more. But they're going to compete a lot better now than they did last year. So it says Carolina ultimately wanted the top pick because it gave them most options. Team officials have conviction on more than 2 of the top quarterbacks that haven't become focused on one, as they're still early in the evaluation process ahead of the April 27-29 draft. They were high on Kentucky's Will Levis earlier last year, impressed with Levis, Alabama's Bryce Young, and Ohio State's C.J. Stroud at the Combine. But should the Panthers fall in love with a couple of quarterbacks, they would consider trading back a spot or 2, according to a league source. That wouldn't make sense if they make another trade to get a spot or 2 back. This would be the 3rd time the Panthers have a top pick. They had it in the first season, 1995, but traded the Cincinnati Bengals in exchange for number 5 pick and number 36 in the second round. They selected quarterback Kerry Collins, number 5. They also had a top pick in 2011 and selected Auburn's Cam Newton, who went on to win the 2015 MVP and led Carolina to the Super Bowl. While the Panthers didn't initially want to part with Moore, the 24th pick of the 2018 draft and their top wide receiver the past 5 years, they agreed to part because the Bears wanted the former Maryland star. Moving on from Moore also kept Carolina from having to give up another future first-round pick, the source says. To me, I think having a proven player is more important than maybe a pick, because the picks, there have been a lot of bust picks. DJ Moore is a proven player, so I don't know if I would have gave up on DJ Moore. Now Carolina is left with basically hardly any wide receiver options. Their offense is not going to be good next year. They did get a lot of picks from the 49ers for McCaffrey. They got like 4 picks, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and a 5th rounder for McCaffrey. So they have picks, in their pocket for future years, but I don't know if I would have given up on DJ Moore. The Panthers now plan to be active at wide receiver in the free agent market with Terrence Marshall Jr., Shea Smith, Lavasca Chenault Jr., the only proven receivers, and none proven number one. They have a combined 77 catches in 2022. So there's not a lot. The Panthers not getting a lot of help in the free agent market, which scratches my head even more why they give DJ Moore. But they're not going to be good at all next year. Meanwhile, on the Bears side, receiver is a major need for them after Darnell Mooney finished with team-high 493 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns, despite missing the final 5 games of the season because of injury. Prior to Adam Moore, who put together 3 1,000-yard seasons from 2019 to 2021, the Bears only had Mooney, Chase Claypool, Velus Jones Jr., and St. Brown under contract at wide receiver position. I am not going to pronounce that first name. The Bears will inherit the remainder of the 3-year contract extension Moore signed in 2022. The wide receiver who posted a career-high 7 touchdowns last season has $19.965 million base salary for 2023. And these 1,000-yard seasons is even more impressive because Carolina didn't have great quarterbacks these past 3 seasons. So that makes it even more impressive that DJ Moore had these 1,000-yard seasons. The move reaffirms the Bears' continued support of Justin Fields, who was coming off his second NFL season. He finished with 64 yards shy of his single-season quarterback rushing record. Chicago general manager Ryan Poles has said throughout the offseason the Bears' plan is for Fields to remain the starting quarterback in 2023 despite the team doing its homework on the quarterbacks available in the draft. Now, I don't blame the Chicago Bears to keep Fields. He's proven to be somewhat successful. Yet, you can see, even though he missed 5 games, Mooney only had 493 receiving yards. Most of Justin Fields is running the ball. And you saw that late in the season, just running. That's all he was doing. So maybe adding DJ Moore will help him in the passing game, make him a better passer. His athletic ability and ability to create explosive plays was special. Now, what we've had discussions about, I've talked about it openly, like he's got to take the next step in his game, and I'm excited to see that because I think he's going to. And I think he's definitely going to step it up from last year, and I think he's going to do better. So this leaves Carolina with probably 2 options at quarterback. And I'm sure everybody thinks Bryce Young is going to be the pick. Bryce Young was phenomenal at Alabama. You can see from his stats, he basically started 2 seasons of Alabama. 2021 was amazing. 67 completion percentage, 4,800 yards, 47 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. That is crazy stats. In 2022, he went down a little at 3,300 yards, 32 touchdowns, 5 interceptions with 64.5 completion. Yeah, it's hard with the Alabama quarterback to see how great he's going to be in the NFL because Alabama always gets the best players every year in recruiting because they're Alabama and Nick Saban. So who knows if Bryce Young is going to do good in the NFL. He's going to translate his college career to the NFL. People have said that he's not that big. He's 5'10". Could get pummeled in the NFL more so than ever in college. Teams like quarterbacks to be like 6'3", 6'4". But there's been success with smaller quarterbacks. Kyler Murray has had success. He's pretty short. So there's been success. But that's what they're saying. Bryce Young might be too small for the NFL. He probably should be the number 1 pick. The other one was Will Levis, whom you saw that Carolina liked last year. Well, I don't think he plays for Kentucky. But I don't think he would be that great of a quarterback in the NFL because he didn't have great stats. 65% completion in 2022, 2,400 yards, 19 touchdowns. And what makes me think he's not going to be that great is 10 interceptions. If you had a lot of interceptions in college, you're going to have to translate that into pros even more, in my opinion. 2021, he had 2,800 yards, 66% completion, 24 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. I know Kentucky is a lot lower in the stature than Alabama. But you see the stats, it should be a no-brainer that Carolina should pick Bryce Young and see what he could do in the NFL over Will Levis. Since Carolina's been looking for a franchise quarterback since Newton developed shoulder issues midway through the 2015 season, it moved on from Newton prior to the 2020 season, went to Teddy Bridgewater. Panthers traded for Sam Darnold, the 3rd pick in the 2018 draft. In 2021, they traded for Baker Mayfield, a top pick in the 2018 draft. They recently were involved in discussions with former Las Vegas Raiders quarterback Derek Carr, who went on to the Saints. And I don't blame the Carolina for wanting to pick a quarterback. The season's not going to be great, so might as well go with a college quarterback, see what he could do, as opposed to maybe getting a Derek Carr or Jimmy G or whatever who was out there in free agency. So what do you guys think? Do you think Carolina gave up way too much to get the number 1 pick in the draft? I personally think so. Let me know in the comments below, subscribe, and like. Thanks. See ya.